On Public Eye News, a shooting in Sault Ste. Marie leaves 2 dead, and later we'll have everything you need to know about the winter storm moving in tonight.
I'll bring you that weather forecast, and we'll look ahead into conditions for the next couple days. Later, I will have today's sports breakdown. I'm Reed Hall.
And I'm Liam Muhlenjoy. You're watching Public Eye News. The Sault Ste. Marie Police have issued a press release with updates on a fatal shooting that took place this week. On Tuesday, February 4th, authorities were called to Wood Creek Manor apartment building after a report of multiple gunshots inside. Their subsequent investigation determined that a man living as a tenant at the building shot a woman who was the landlord there before committing suicide himself. Some residents at Wood Creek were temporarily relocated while the Michigan State Police Crime Lab assisted with the investigation. The names of the 2 subjects are not being released. And the Marquette County Health Department has announced a virtual suicide awareness and prevention training presentation. The free presentation will be held by Trails, a youth mental health program working to make effective mental health services available in schools. It is set to take place today at 4:30 over Zoom and be facilitated by Natalie Burns, a professional with experience in the assessment and treatment of suicidal youth. Discussion topics will include dispelling myths, identifying risk factors and warning signs, ensuring safety in homes, starting the conversation, and more.
The Marquette County Sheriff's Office has purchased 2 Oceanid Rapid Deployment Crafts. The purchase was made possible through a generous donation by the West End Health Foundation. These inflatable rescue boats will be carried in rescue trucks and can be inflated within roughly a minute. The boats can be used year-round for emergencies like distress swimmers and ice rescues. The donation covered 82% of the cost, and future purchases will include tow bars for snowmobiles and personal watercraft for offshore water rescues. The purchase of the rescue crafts will make Marquette County a safer place to live. And the United States Department of Agriculture Service Center in Bexar County will host an open house on February 12th. The open house will run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Veterans, tribal members, and beginning farmers are encouraged to visit the office to meet the staff, enroll their farms, and learn more about available programs. These programs can assist in establishing your farm or managing your conservation goals. The office also invites existing producers and other interested parties to attend as well. The Service Center is located just west of Baraga on Ojibwa Industrial Park Road. And registration for the Northern Michigan Volleyball Spring Clinic Series is now open. The clinic is open to both youth and middle school age students and is meant for beginners with little to no experience. The camp will cover all the basic volleyball skills over 3 days, led by NMU coaches and players. The youth clinic from 1st through 5th graders will be held March 11th, 18th, and April 1st from 5 to 6 p.m. and will cost $30. The middle school clinic for 6th through 8th graders will be held on the same dates, but from 3 to 4:30 p.m. instead, and will cost $50. The clinics will be held inside the Vandemet Arena and PEEF practice gyms. Attendees should bring dry shoes and a water bottle. Registration for this event can be found through NMU's ticketing website. And over in Washington, D.C., President Trump looks to continue making sweeping changes to the federal government and national culture. Department of Justice reforms are accompanying Trump's latest executive orders. CBS's Jared Hill has more.
At the White House, President Donald Trump continued to make good on his promise to change the federal government, signing a new executive order banning transgender athletes from women's sports.
From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
It's the latest in his sweeping set of overhauls by executive action.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
Facing new pushback from the East Coast to the heartland. In an effort led by Elon Musk to shrink the federal government, today is the last day for federal workers to take a buyout. And nearly all of the 10,000 USAID employees, the agency that works to feed the world and fight disease, are set to be put on leave as of midnight tomorrow.
USAID projects play an integral part of America's foreign policy objectives, and we do all of this with less than 1% of the national budget.
Meanwhile, President Trump is standing by his idea to have the U.S. take over the Gaza Strip.
Everybody loves it.
But wouldn't elaborate on the suggestion to send in American troops and permanently remove Palestinians. His administration is walking back some of the rhetoric.
The president has made it clear that they need to be temporarily relocated out of Gaza for the rebuilding of this effort.
Now, the president could be setting his sights on another place to make cuts, the Department of Education. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now don't touch that dial. Reed will be right back with your weather after this break. Stay tuned.
We're here in Washington to find out what comes next.
Donald Trump won re-election, promising to reduce illegal immigration.
The Republicans will have a majority.
Will that really solve America's migrant crisis?
Not only at home, but around the world.
They're preparing for what might be coming.
Our correspondents give you the full story.
We're now hearing several explosions after an evacuation warning.
For a global perspective, join us on BBC World News America.
Welcome back. I'm Reed Hall here with your Public Eye weather update. Taking a look behind me at the Academic Mall, flurries have picked up. They have moved in. Definitely snowing out there. Now we're going to take a look up into Houghton. I promise you, this is the Houghton Bridge. You can't see it right now. There is whiteout conditions up there thanks to that blizzard warning in effect. Now taking a look around the UP up in Houghton, it's 17 and snowy. Out in Ironwood and Iron Mountain, it is 15 and cloudy. Down in Menominee, it's where the only sun is peeking through in the UP right now. It's 32. We take a look now towards the east side of the UP. Escanaba's got some flurries. They're at 31. Manistee is 27 with some clouds. And up in the Sioux, it's 25 with some flurries. And back here in Marquette, it is 26 and snowing. Taking a closer look, winds are west at 19 miles an hour. And our barometric pressure is 29.57 inches and rising. Taking a closer look at tonight, it's going to be cloudy with a low of 11. And winds are west-northwest at 20 miles an hour, and our moon phase is a waxing crescent. Taking a look at tomorrow, clouds persist. It'll be a high of 22, a low of 13, and winds will be west at 13 miles an hour. Taking a look into the weekend and into Monday, starting on Saturday, it's going to be a high of 23, some snow, and a low of 13. Sunday, a high of 19, clouds, and a low of 7. And on Monday, a high of 20, the sun peeks through for partly cloudy skies, and a low of 5. That's all the weather I have. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Reed. Now continuing our coverage of the extreme weather gripping the peninsula right now, a blizzard warning is in effect for much of the western UP from midday through early tonight. The affected area covers the Keweenaw along with Ontonagon and Baraga counties. Those regions will experience whiteout conditions caused by falling and blowing snow, which may accumulate up to 2 to 6 inches. Drifting snow could build up along north-south oriented highways as well. According to the National Weather Service of Michigan, travel will be difficult and potentially life-threatening. Lake effect snow will also bring about hazardous travel conditions across the northeastern UP. And Aspirus Health has announced that the cardiac rehabilitation program for its Keweenaw branch has been certified by the American Association of Cardiovascular and Pulmonary Rehabilitation. Such programs are designed to help people with cardiovascular problems like heart attacks and coronary artery bypass graft surgery recover faster and live healthier. They also assist with pulmonary problems like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD. Programs of this nature typically involve exercise, education, counseling, and support for patients and their families. And President Trump's Gaza plan is upsetting some of the Arab Americans who voted for him. Dearborn, Michigan flipped to red, partially to protest Biden's handling of the conflict. CBS's Nikki Batiste asked people there how they're feeling now.
What do you think your headline will be this week?
Gazans will not leave their country.
Osama Sablani's Arab American newspaper has shared the stories of the country's largest Arab community for 40 years.
We have expected from Donald Trump the worst, but he is shocking us of how worse he can be.
Here in Dearborn, Michigan, the Democrat usually wins, but last November, President Trump captured more than 40% of the vote to Vice President Harris's 36%. Part of her loss was due to people not voting for either major party. Sablani says he didn't vote for anyone, but blames Democratic candidates for the rare results.
The vote for Trump was not really a vote for Trump. It's a vote against the Biden-Harris administration because they could not stop the carnage that's happening in Gaza.
If you were to give President Trump a grade for how he's handling Gaza, Middle East, what would it be?
I would say like a C+.
College senior Sarah Shaban voted for Trump. She says she gasped when she saw his remarks.
I was disappointed, but I also wasn't surprised. But I would say that I kind of find it hard to believe that he would actually implement what he's saying.
Did you regret voting for him?
A little bit, yeah. But then I thought about it and I was like, there's a ceasefire now, and I wasn't sure there was going to be a ceasefire if Kamala was elected.
Trump became the first Republican presidential candidate to win this city of Dearborn in more than 2 decades. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who represents Dearborn and is the only Palestinian American in Congress, blasted Trump's comments and said Palestinians aren't going anywhere. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, Dearborn, Michigan.
This all comes while President Trump is calling for the United States to take control of the Gaza Strip and displace the millions of Palestinian residents there. Now let's go back over to Reed with today's sports report.
Thanks, Liam. I'm here this time for your Public Eye Sports Breakdown. The NMU football program was hard at work yesterday, announcing the addition of 34 new Wildcats on National Signing Day. The incoming group consists of players from Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois, with 6 from right here in the Upper Peninsula. The 2025 class is broken down into 24 offensive players, 8 defensive players, and 2 on special teams. Notably, the group consists of 2 kickers and hopes to solve the kicking woes from a season ago. Hopefully, the 2025 class can help the NMU football program get back on track, a team that hasn't won a game since 2022. And with the NCAA lacrosse season just around the corner, the NMU women's lacrosse team has been picked to finish second in the GLIAC for 2025. This comes after back-to-back GLIAC championship appearances for the Cats. The Cats received 13 points and 1 first-place vote behind only Grand Valley State, who received 4 first-place votes of their own. NMU is set to return 6 of their 8 all-conference selections from a season ago, including reigning GLIAC Freshman of the Year, Josie Lukoski. The Wildcats will tip off their season Friday, February 14th at home against Walsh. And bouncing on over to the basketball, where both teams are set to head downstate to face SVSU and Wayne State this weekend. For the men, they will look to continue their momentum after sweeping GVSU in Davenport last weekend. The Wildcats currently sit 4th in the GLIAC at 14-6 and 8-4 in the conference. The Cats continue to boast one of the top defensive units in the country and will look to give 2 teams at or below 500 a run for their money. For the women, a crucial conference weekend lies ahead. Sitting a game behind Ferris State for 2nd in the GLIAC and tied with Wayne State for 3rd, there is no room for error. Defense is contagious for those who wear green and gold, as the women come into the weekend ranked 2nd in points per game allowed. Expect the Cats to lean on J.C. Weisbrod, as she averages 13.3 points per game. That's all for this Public Eye Sports Report, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Hey everyone, I'm Ken Burns. To make our film resources even easier to use, we've now created Ken Burns in the Classroom on PBS Learning Media. There you can find hundreds of video clips from our films, as well as lesson plans, activities, discussion questions, handouts, and interactives to help you integrate the films into your classroom instruction. I hope you find these resources helpful. Thanks for doing what you do.
Well, welcome back to the desk, Reed. I actually have 2 more stories for our viewers at home today, starting with this. Tomorrow is My Way Friday at NMU. The day is packed with activities, from an 8:30 a.m. walk and talk coffee shop to an 8 p.m. showing of Gladiator 2. Event participation can win you an NMU hat or Experience Marquette package. Visit the hub for more information. And the NMU Center for Native American Studies will be presenting a conversation today about body sovereignty at 6 p.m. Department Head Carolyn Laporte and graduate student Andy Ballinger will discuss Chapter 7 of Leanne Simpson's award-winning book, As We Have Always Done. Such a great variety of events available at the NMU campus from today into the weekend. Unfortunately, I'm going to be with the Quiz Bowl team, so I can't go to any of them, but anybody here in town definitely should. So many good options.
I definitely agree. Definitely an interesting couple events that they got going on tomorrow. I got class during that coffee walk.
Great.
Seems like a real fun time. Definitely would want to go through if I could.
Me too. But that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. I'm Liam Euland-Joy.
I'm Reed Hall.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.